everybody. It is Thursday. It is 7 o'clock Central Time where I live, or 8 o'clock if you live on the East Coast. So weird, but thank you for joining me tonight on the stack, as always. I have tonight the Golden Grappler, Mr. Travis Huckabee, and you can see him, I don't know, like pretty much everywhere, but most recently, I know he's been on Beyond, Pro Wrestling Grind, Limitless, Pizza Party, and I believe Paradigm. Just to name a handful of places you can find him on IWTV. So please welcome Mr. Travis Huckabee.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad we got to make this work.
Thank you for being so awesome and flexible. Last night was really not the night for me. So I'm really excited to have you. I've been really excited to interview you. I think I set this up like over a month ago. So I was really excited about it. So we're just going to dive right in. What was a young Travis Huckabee like?
Yeesh. My God. I'm trying to jump around and figure out which age would be the most interesting.
Whatever
I don't
you want to tell me
about. My first I don't know why my first thought was like me in high school. I was some kind of cross between a nerd and a jock. If you could imagine that. I would carry all of my bags just in my book bag so that I wouldn't have to go like back and forth from my locker to my class. So I would just go to my classroom and my bag would be heavy as all get out, but I would be there early. I would just sit at my desk, and I don't know if they still have them. They probably do, but on my smart calculator or whatever, a friend of mine set it up so that I could play like Tetris and like a couple levels of Mario. So I would be that kid who would show up early to class, sit at my desk, and just play Tetris on my calculator between classes. But also, I was on the wrestling team, and my senior year, I started getting a whole lot more interested in exercising and working out and things like that. So really weird mix up.
Like, I'm from a really small town in the middle of nowhere, but like our wrestling team was not like they were kind of more than nerdy guys too. Like our basketball team were kind of more of like the stereotypical jocks.
Yep.
And our wrestling team was like a little bit more like nuanced.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, our wrestling team was terrible. Oh, those were some long meets.
Man, like wrestling meet Saturdays were like full day of sitting around for the most part.
We had some rough meets too. It was like, for anyone who understands how scoring in wrestling works, we had days that were like, oh man, how bad did that score get? It was something like 72-6.
Yep. I was
gonna say, for any uninitiated amateur wrestling, at least, when I was doing it, it was broken down into weight classes, 112, 117, 125, so on and so forth. And the score for the team would be determined based on the decision of each individual match. So I think like if you win by a few points, you get like 3 points. If you win by a lot of points, you win by like 4. A pin is like 6. So we would have like 1 or 2 guys who would win and then just blown out in the opposite direction.
I was like a team manager for our wrestling team in high school, so I understand.
Oh goodness.
We had a lot of opens, so it's just like, have your points.
the managers were always the best too. It was like they're just sitting at the desk, and it's like, yep, You, all right. Yep. You're who you say you are. Okay. I'm going to sit here for the next hour.
My job was to like video the matches so that they could do like tape study later. But also this was in 2003
Mm-hmm.
and 2002 because I'm old. So I had like the big honking camera.
Mm.
And it was long days.
So it wasn't one of those like,
No, it wasn't quite like a like yeah, I didn't have to crank, but it was hefty. It's a little shoulder number.
all I think of with that crank camera is, what was that, 2006, I think it was, King Kong, Jack Black's character, who was just always cranking that thing. I think it was 2006.
That sounds
2005, 2006.
accurate. So how did you decide to pursue like professional wrestling?
So I was a fan from a younger age. Uh, I remember my older brothers would watch it. I remember it. I don't remember too much of it. I think my first actual memory, I've told this to people before. I remember seeing Rey Mysterio do a 619, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And I don't know why I remember this, but John Cena's debut, that was very early in when I started actively watching. I watched that for a bit, and then my brother started taking me to independent shows. So Chikara, Ring of Honor, a couple other local ones. And then after a while, like I just became so drawn into it. I was getting towards the end of high school. I was like, I want to do this. It's like, no, no, go to college, whatever. It's like, fine, I'm going to go to college. But immediately, not immediately, a little while after I graduate, opportunity comes up where I'm able to start training. And I've just been doing that since.
Nice. So what is something that you learned while training that you still apply to your matches today?
Oh, man. I think I always try to do at least one thing differently. I think in all of my matches, at least in recent memory, I try to do one new thing. Um, I don't know. I don't know if that's the best example, but that's the first one that comes to mind. And
Works for me.
one of those things that help keep things interesting, giving me the opportunity to experiment, uh, play around, see something I like, see things that don't work, stuff like that.
Right. So who has had the most influence on you both like in the ring or out of the ring?
Hmm. Man, I feel like I should have done my homework.
Sorry.
You're good. Um, as far as people who have trained me and done all of that, uh, Fire Ant, I spent a lot of time training underneath him. There was a point in time Drew Gulak gave me a lot of attention, and there were a lot of things that I'd taken up from him. There's so many people I can give credit to. Um, Recently, world famous CB, Hollow Wicked is a ginormous wealth of knowledge. Um, My goodness, it's really tough to think of one specific person.
mean, if it's many people, that's okay. I'm not going to hold you to just one person.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that I've been fortunate enough to work with. Um, I feel like anytime I am on a road trip with Matt Mikowski for one thing or another, uh, either just hearing the way that he thinks of things or the conversations that we have kind of force me to think of things in different ways. Um, that's that's been someone who, at least recently, has kind of challenged the way I've been thinking, kind of forced me to adapt one way or another.
Nice. So, what would you say has been your greatest achievement in wrestling? And that can be like a title, or if you had like a really good match, or like some like feud you had with a specific opponent, like whatever that means to you.
Uh, for the longest time, all I wanted to do was I wanted to debut. I wanted to become a wrestler. I wanted to specifically wrestle for Chikara, which, was one of the first companies that I really clung on to. So being able to do that, winning the Campeonatos de Parejas, technically twice, that was a really cool thing. Uh, when I was a trainer at the Wrestle Factory, that was something that was very fulfilling, getting to see people like Abby Jane, who I was there on her first day. Um, she was one of the first people that I could think of that I could, like, honest to goodness say, like, this is one of my students. I helped train her. But people like her, Pancakes, there's a few others out there, um, who are still developing a bit. But a few of them, I was lucky enough to go overseas for King of Trios that one year. I've been dying to go back since. Um, I've gotten to work matches with JTG, Lee Moriarty. Those matches, I still get a lot of comments, and uh, I still get a lot of praise and stuff for those kind of matches. I've gotten to work with people that I incredibly respect, like Cole Cabana. Um, you know, just the top one off the top of my head. I've been so fortunate in so many things that I've gotten to do. Even just, I mentioned him earlier, just getting to team up with Matt Mikowski, who is, in my opinion, one of the best wrestlers in North America right now, on the independent level. Getting to work with him has been very rewarding, just in the little capacity that we have been. Uh, Being prevalent in Blitzkrieg Pro, that's been like a second home for me. In February, I think, I don't know if we're main eventing, but I am challenging for the title up there. That's incredibly, uh, I don't want to say, I'll say exciting. Um, that still kind of blows my mind, the kind of reception that I've been getting up there. Uh, the fans at Blitzkrieg Pro have been absolutely fantastic, and they've been so kind to me, especially since that JTG match. Yeah, so many things. It's tough to name just one.
I mean, that's good though that you have a lot of things that have been, positive for you in wrestling. What is the greatest obstacle that you've overcome in wrestling?
I don't know if I'd say I've overcome it. I'm still dealing with it, but I've struggled with some mental health issues, a lot of body dysmorphia issues ever since I was young. Um, Probably for as long as I can remember, I've had some kind of thing messing with me. Just kind of pushing forward and trying to keep progressing. Like I said, I still deal with it, but it's something that I can push past uh, to an extent.
Yeah, I understand. I know like a month or so ago, somebody had posted like a tweet about like I think it was Alex Shelley said something about wrestlers with like who has body dysmorphia, and so many people that I love their work and respect
Mhm.
like was like yep, and I was just like it was so sad for me. I was like, but
I,
no, I love you people.
I love that in the build to their match. He and Anthony Henry had like something going on. The match ended up not happening, but Anthony Henry, someone who his work I have the utmost respect for him. I'm such a fan of his. But just the two of them talking, like I think Shelley was trying to cut weight, Anthony Henry was trying to gain weight. Both of them were struggling with it and kind of being very transparent about it. Uh, I have so much respect for those two guys for that alone, if nothing else.
I like, I guess that we're at a point where you can be open and transparent about these things and receive 99% positive and like support from not just your peers but from everyone. Like I
Yeah,
didn't see too many like people just being assholes about it.
yeah. As as small as the scope may seem, even just being able to talk about some of these things and normalize them, I think that's beneficial for a lot of people.
Yeah, just to know that you're not alone. Like sometimes
Yeah,
like for me like that's nice for me to know too. Like
yeah. It's the world's not as big, or I guess not as small, or I guess not as big as you think it is.
yeah. So moving right along. If you could go back and wrestle yourself as your first match, or go forward in time and wrestle yourself 5 years from now, which would you pick and why?
Wrestle against myself?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I could imagine how the match against myself would be, and I would imagine that I would be probably overwhelmed with all the stuff going on. I would probably want to I would probably want to wrestle myself 5 years from now. Yeah, that's the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. I would probably want to wrestle myself 5 years from now. I think that would just be a better opportunity for me to learn. Not that I was thick-skulled or anything when I was younger, but I don't think I would have appreciated the things I could have learned as much as I think modern self would.
That makes sense. If you had an action figure of yourself, but it was one of the ones that like could have like phrases, what phrases would you want it to say and what accessories would you want it to come with?
Um, is this My Hero Academia? Uh, some variation on Get Hucked. Um, Maybe Hucky and the horse he rode in on. There might be one other one in there. As far as accessories, trying to think of which version of Travis Huckabee. I've had a few different looks. Probably a mini towel. I don't know. Would I want that satin jacket?
See, my mind immediately went to the satin jacket.
Yeah. I Here's the thing. I really like my current look. Probably the satin jacket. I I uh I was dressed to the nines at Grind the other day, and I had like everything there. I had the jacket, I had the t-shirt, I had my mini towel, my hat, all of that. So just get all that.
So I have to ask, is this My Hero Academia start? Like, how did that become a thing?
Um, I recognize that I don't always have the best Twitter presence. Um, so I started um I started doing things just to entertain myself. So I forget how it even started with it, but it's just I'm gonna find out what My Hero Academia is. I see a lot of people posting about anime and stuff. Just gonna figure out. See, if I could figure out what My Hero Academia is, then that's one specific thing. Then, like, okay, now there's only, you know, 99,999 other things to learn about. I'll do things one at a time. I'll learn what is My Hero Academia, and then I'll move on from there. Uh, and anime fans are very understanding and like accepting when you get something wrong and like confuse their favorite animes for something else. They've
Very
been
normal reactions
very well
to that.
adjusted, very calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, not acting in outrage at all.
No, they've been. I have not gotten any threats of physical violence.
I've never seen one.
No, no, like people like Akira have been very understanding. Akira, Chase Holiday. Oh man, there's a few out there. Aspen the Mermaid.
They seem like understanding people. I can see where you would feel that way,
Yes.
especially when it comes to something so important to everyone's lives, like anime.
Yeah. Yeah. No, nothing but patience and understanding.
Really, what more do you need? I don't watch anime. I honestly, I think it's kind of creepy.
Any Japanese cartoon, like, it's either My Hero Academia or it's not.
I guess like when I was younger, I did watch Sailor Moon and Hamtaro. That's about as far as I got into anime.
I think those count.
Just barely. uh, so what? All over the place. So you have to drive. You don't teleport, even though it's 2022 and teleportation should absolutely be a thing by now. What is your go-to like road music? Or do you
Ooh.
listen to like podcasts? Like, what are you listening to?
I
My
tend
Hero
to bounce back.
Academia?
I tend to bounce back and forth between a few things. Anytime I'm riding with Matt Mikowski, we have to play the song Snake Eater, the title track to Metal Gear Solid 3. We have to play that at least once, if not several times.
Is that good for you or not good for you?
No, it's good. It's such a good song. So that's a specific thing. If it's part of the night where, people are tired and I'm just driving, I will either put on a podcast. I really enjoy Logan Black's podcast, his Year One podcast, where interviews a good bunch of my friends about their first year in wrestling. I listened to one, Dungeons and Daddies, which is just a bunch of people role playing as dads in like Dungeons and Dragons esque fantasy world.
That sounds hilarious.
I'll put on episodes of Hot Ones. Those are always entertaining. Or if I'm playing music, depending on the mood, I've got a playlist that's just like, it's Weird Al, They Might Be Giants, Epic Rap Battles of History, bunch of ridiculous things.
Like goofy stuff.
So I grew up on like Weird Al and Dr. Nemeno and things like that. That is what my dad would play in the car whenever he drove us around.
That's awesome.
So, I hate to ask, I have to use the restroom. Is that terribly awkward?
No, you're fine.
I appreciate it.
I'm not going to keep you here. That would be weird.
I'll be right back.
Super. A brief intermission for us all. Make sure to drop your questions in chat. We will eventually get to them. While I have a minute, let's peruse. I want to say hi to Vic. Hi, Vic. And Henry. Hello, Henry. Thank you for watching tonight on this special Thursday night stat. Oh, I am much bigger. I didn't see the new outlay until right now. Purple Midnight, thanks for hanging out. Oh, good. Tangra won tonight. Good deal. I was hoping that he would do well. Who did he wrestle? Christopher? Excellent question, Henry. I'll ask when he gets back.
I'm so sorry about that.
You're okay. I got to catch up on chat, and I have a very important question from the chat. What is your favorite species of bear?
Real ones. Real bears that exist.
Are you sure though?
Yes. My favorite bear is the kind that is not imaginary.
Is it named Bubbles?
It's not a species. That is a
Specific
figment.
bear.
That is a figment. That is an imaginary bear. That is a myth. That is a anti-bear. It is fake bear.
I don't know. I feel like I've heard a lot about it for it being not real, which makes me think it is real.
I'm not going to say that you can't believe that there is a bear named Bubbles. What I'm saying is that there's not. You can believe it, but it's not.
But how sure are you?
100%. I'm positive.
I feel like it's a real bear, though. I feel like it is.
I wish I waited to go to the bathroom. This would have been much better comedic timing.
Would you bring the bear out? Do you have the bear?
In the bathroom? No.
I don't know where you keep your bear.
Where would you keep your bear?
In a house outside, probably.
Well, good thing the bear's not real. I don't have to worry about housing it or feeding it or bathing it.
Maybe you bathe it in a kiddie pool in your bathroom.
Yes, I flood the apartment beneath mine by bathing a bear.
It's an option.
It's an incredibly rude option. If I flooded the apartment beneath mine by bathing a bear in a kiddie pool, I would walk down and apologize personally to the owner of said apartment and probably bring them like a tray of muffins or something. It's like, I'm sorry, here are some apology muffins.
Apology muffins. What kind of
Yeah,
muffin would you go for?
Blueberry.
Is that your favorite kind of muffin?
It is definitely a kind of muffin.
Truly.
Yes.
It definitely ranks in my top 3 muffins
Yeah.
that you can have. It's a good like standard muffin that most people enjoy. Most people not allergic to blueberries, so solid choice all around.
Yeah, blueberry is a solid muffin.
Tend to agree.
Hmm.
Are you thinking about your favorite muffin?
Yeah, I am.
I'm an apple cinnamon gal myself.
Ooh, that's a good
Saucy.
choice.
My bestie and I, my bestie's a chef, but she like it's like super easy because it's just like apple pie filling and like cinnamon muffin mix. But it's the best because they're super like moist and delicious. Plus you get like the giant chunks of apple.
Yeah.
Peak muffinage. 10/10 would recommend.
Hmm. That's definitely a solid muffin right there.
Right?
I gotta think on that one.
Banana nut and chocolate chip are also good options.
Chocolate chip is solid. I feel like if you're gonna go for something chocolate chip, there's better options than a muffin. Like if you want something chocolatey, specifically in a pastry, like there's better options. I feel like banana's really polarizing. Is bananas just got such a strong flavor to it?
Like I really like banana, just generally speaking. But like sometimes if you buy muffins, like banana muffins, it almost tastes like fake banana,
Yeah.
not like real banana.
Yeah, I might stick with blueberry just because it's definitely a solid muffin.
Noted.
Yeah.
So moving right into one of my favorite questions because I'm a big snack girl, like I'm a snackosaurus rex. Um, what is your go-to road snack? Like, what are your like? You're on your road trip after wrestling, and you stop at a convenience store or whatever. Like, what are you picking up to take with you?
Um, so on my ride home, if it's just me wanting something to munch on, I will get some kind of Reese's something, whether it is a fast break or like uh there's like the one that's got like the little like Reese's pieces in there. It's like a bar that's got them like scattered about. That's solid. Some kind of something with peanut butter. Chocolate and peanut butter and then various other crap. Um, so something there and then like a Mountain Dew because I need caffeine usually, but if I drink something like a rain or a bang at like 2 in the morning driving home, my heart will explode. So I try to get a little bit of caffeine.
Yeah, need to keep your heart, mostly
Yeah,
would be
I,
detrimental if we didn't. So that's fair.
yeah, that's my go-to, at least for the drive back.
Is it different for a drive there?
Drive up, I try not to eat a lot of crap. It's mostly on my drive back. Drive up, I might get like what are they called? Hit peas. They're like chickpea puffs.
Oh,
Those are solid. Um, maybe fig bars. Yeah, stuff like that.
nice, nice. Who
Random
are you?
protein bar.
Who are your favorite like road buddies? Like who do you like to travel with?
Um, so I feel like one of the people I've driven the most with is King Crab. I don't know if it's just with all the Blitzkrieg trips or not, but he's someone I drive with a lot. Um, Mikowski, Max Zero is absolutely hilarious. He's just he's so clever and everything else. I've gotten to do a few trips with Shay McCoy. I think last Paradigm trip I did, it was me, Max, and Shay. And I think there was a good chunk of it where we were listening to country covers of like old emo songs.
Nice.
So this dude just doing a country cover of Ohio is for Lovers. We put that on the second we crossed over the border into Ohio. Yeah, it was solid.
Gotta be better than Hawthorne Heights. So fair. I am emo all the way through and through, and Hawthorne Heights is probably one of the worst bands I've ever seen live. And I've seen them live like 5 times.
Who was the best?
The best band I've ever seen live?
Yes.
Or the best emo band I've ever seen live?
I'd say emo band.
Taking Back Sunday was really good when I saw them. Best band I've ever seen live in general was probably Coco Bordello. They like put on a whole show. If you get to see them, I would recommend it if you like that kind of music.
Oh,
which I do.
I listened to them a few years back. I imagine it being a lot of fun.
I've seen them twice. If you get a chance to see them, I would recommend it because like I said, they put on like a whole show. It's like it's a whole thing and it's awesome. It's so much fun.
I've gotten to see a lot of really good bands perform live. Man, some of my favorites. I've seen Silverstein play a bunch. I saw Chiodos, Drugs. Uh, maybe one of my favorite experiences. I was my first year ever going to Warped Tour. I remember I was in the pit for Scary Kids Scaring Kids, and the rain just started pouring down. So my first time in the pit, and this rain and the music, it was like that was so cool.
So I never did Warped Tour because I just don't do heat very well, and because I'm from the middle of nowhere, and so it's like a 6-hour drive to go to Warped Tour. But I was very fortunate in my early 20s to see a lot of bands really early. I saw Chiodos in 2005 in like a Knights of Columbus hall in a town of like 400 people. And I was like, hell yeah. Like I saw Day to Remember there too. So
oh, nice. I've seen Bring Me the Horizon a bunch of times thinking about it.
I've never seen them.
Oh, they're pretty good. Sorry. Sidetracked story. I think you'll appreciate it.
Let's go.
A few years back, I got to go up with Beyond Wrestling, not Beyond. It was Blitzkrieg, they had a show at Warped Tour that was happening in Connecticut, which like Hartford maybe. It was the last year that Warped Tour was even a thing. But driving up, it was me, CC Boost, and Orange Cassidy, and just the whole drive up. This is a few years that I've been removed from going to concerts or whatever. The whole drive up, Orange Cassidy's just sitting in the, I think he was sitting in the front seat. I was like, oh, who's gonna be there? Yeah, I want to see 303. That's the only band I know here. I want to see 303.
Oh.
So we do our show, we do all of that, and then we're walking around. This was like the hottest day of the summer. I stayed in my trunks because it was so sweltering hot. I had my trunks and my boots. I had like a tank top on. Uh, so I remember that being so hot. You're either standing in the direct sunlight where you at least get a breeze, or you're like sitting under our tent that's like sectioned off so that we would have privacy, but the air is just stagnant.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're walking around, we're like all in our gear, and we go and watch 303. We're like standing in the little VIP, like sectioned off square of grass. So somewhere there's a picture of me, CC Boost, Logan Easton LaRoe, and Orange Cassidy just standing on the grass at Warped Tour watching 303.
You know, if I was gonna go to Warped Tour, 303, not the band I would pick to go watch. Probably gonna pick any other band, really.
That was the only band he had ever heard of that was there.
It's so weird to me, but okay. That's your white whale band. Go for it, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
It was strictly because that was the only band he had ever heard of that was there.
Out of the like dozens of bands that are on Warped Tour.
You know, I imagine he would just walk around just like, is this 303?
Yes, it's all 303. And I'm sure everyone would be really patient and understanding about it.
Yeah, too. Just like anime fans.
Right? So what is your favorite move to take and what is your favorite move to give?
Sonny DeFarge does a move called Fever Dream. I don't even know how I would describe it. He like catches you sideways and spins you out, and you end up landing like a bulldog. And for whatever reason, I'm like the best person to take that move. That one's fun. I like taking the black hole slam from Big Calyx. He's just so goddamn big. You get so much.
I have never seen him in person, so I'll have to take your word for it. But he does look
so
large.
Goddamn big. You just spin and you swing and you swing and it's all fun until the landing.
It's like oh shit.
Favorite move to give. Either my rebounds European uppercut, or when I'm able to catch someone for get hucked, my little side cradle spin out into a cutter thing. Or maybe I think it's some kind of variation from that side cradle I do, whether it's into the cutter, whether it's onto a knee, or I just dump them straight back, like that time I murdered Abby Jane. Those are always fun.
Nice. If you could create your own title, what would it be for and how would it be defended? Like, what stipulations would you put with it?
I thought of something really dumb, but I might.
Go for it. Do it. I want to
I
hear
was
it.
gonna say the Ultimate Bear Fighting Championship.
Because you like bears.
Nah, I could probably think of something better than that.
No, we're going with that. Would you have to? Would you have to fight a bear to get the title?
That is how the first champion is crowned. I imagine it would be something. I'm feel like I already know the answer to this before I even ask. Are you at all familiar with what is it? Scottish backhold wrestling?
No.
I promise you that is a thing.
Okay.
It is. So.
Is it My Hero Academia?
No. Are you familiar at all with vintage arcade games?
Kind of.
Think like Street Fighter, like
Okay, that I can get. It's wrestling,
so
but
there's
Street
a
Fighter.
spin-off. What's up?
It's wrestling, but Street Fighter.
I swear I'm getting to this.
Okay, I'll let you take me on the journey.
So there's like a spin-off of Street Fighter. It's like Streets of Rage or whatever. One of the characters there, his name is Mike Hagar. He is like the mayor, but also like a professional wrestler. And his fighting style is it's either Cornish backhold or Scottish backhold wrestling, which I swear is a real thing. So that's how I found out about it, through this character specifically. So I looked it up. It is this type of wrestling where it's you and another person. So you're standing like chest to chest with the other person, and you lock your hands behind their back. So one arm goes over, one arm goes under. You've got, I don't know, like 15 seconds to get your grip. The goal of it is to be the first person to like knock your opponent down. But you also have to maintain this grip the entire time. So any person who touches the ground, any part of your body other than the soles of your feet, whoever touches the ground first loses. So whether it's your back, your knee, or anything. So the whole goal is to kind of pull your person off of their feet. So imagine it's very much like you're bear hugging the other person and you're just trying to throw them around. So yeah, the Ultimate Bear Fighting Championship, contested under Scottish backhold wrestling rules.
Nice.
And you have to win it by, bear hugging a bear and throwing them to the ground.
Yeah. I don't know what else you would do. It would have to be a bear.
Yeah. That is how
Clearly.
the first champion is crowned. And the title championship belt will be made out of the defeated bear. That is where you get
so
the leather. So
it's going to be like a fur belt?
No, that's where you get the leather.
Oh, I thought it would be like the
belt.
Like the bear skin, and it would just be furry.
Yes, it would be the bear skin would make up the leather of the belt.
But you'd have to, like, in my mind, you would have to keep the fur on it, so it would be furry. Like, you would want it to be furry.
I mean, like the side straps and everything, but you gotta have like the title plaque.
Yeah, but like this, but like the rest of it would be furry.
We could workshop it.
So you don't believe in the furry belt? It would set it apart from other belts.
That's true.
I've never seen a furry belt.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much in the furry territory. I I will keep my distance from that.
Fair enough. I'll put that away then.
We'll think tank it.
All right, we'll move on. Um, so what is the wrestling word that you use most outside of wrestling? Like, what word do you catch yourself using?
Gimmick.
You and everybody else.
Um, Gimmick, shoot, heel, kayfabe. There's so many times I have to explain what some of these words mean to people. I've had
Fair.
I've had partners where I've had to explain like what I mean when I say shoot work.
Yeah. Yep. No, I get that. Do you have any hidden talents?
I draw portraits. I don't know if that's really hidden. I think some people have seen them. Um, yeah, whenever the mood strikes, um, I will draw portraits of some of my friends.
Aw.
Um, I did a promo a while back where I had spent like 3 hours drawing a picture of Becca just to set it on fire.
Oh,
For example,
oh, nice. You're very good.
uh, I don't know if that's a really hidden talent. I'll show
I didn't
people
know about
those
it.
every once in a while. Uh,
Nice.
my main sketchbook is in the other room, but yeah.
Well, I didn't know about it, so it was hidden to me, and that works. So, on the road a lot, all over the place, with people that are hilarious. In addition to yourself, who is also very funny. Um, there's got to be like at least one really good travel story, either something like really funny or like, now you have one in mind. You can like censor names if you need to,
Yeah.
because I don't want to embarrass anybody.
No, I don't think there's anyone that really needs to be embarrassed by it. I think it was last year is when GCW had that Fight Forever thing.
Yes.
So that was on a Saturday, I think. Can't Believe Frog had the match. So I wrestled on that, and then later that day I drove up with uh again at the time he was Hermit Crab and Masha Slamovich up to Maine to shoot uh some stuff for Season of the Road at Limitless. So we all right, I might censor her name. So I think we need to wait for Masha to have another match. Whatever. So we head up there. We end up staying with someone, and I think we get in at about midnight, 12:30, Saturday night, Sunday morning. We get to the house of the person that we're staying with. So we pull up on the street, like everything's frozen because it's Maine and like I don't know, January, whatever time it was. So I text the guy. It was like, "Hey, I think we're here." He was just like, "Yeah, you can come in." So you're not gonna like come out to us? Like, what if we have the wrong house? So the three of us walk up, just open the dude's front door, just see him sitting on the couch eating pizza, watching like an old Royal Rumble match. It's like, okay. Um, so there's like a inflatable mattress like on the floor of the living room. There's a bedroom with like 2 kids' beds that I guess we could smush together. Someone could sleep on that. Then there was another room with like a queen size mattress. So I take the queen because I drove like, I think that entire way up. Um, Masha was sleeping on the 2 kids' beds, smushed up against each other, and Crab was sleeping on the air mattress. Um, like as I'm settling in, a friend of mine like FaceTimes me. You know, this that's a long story that whatever doesn't don't need to go into detail on that.
Oh, that's
She
fine.
was having she was having a rough night. Um, I guess the guy that we were staying with, he was up for like the next couple hours just watching Royal Rumble matches. So I guess Crab didn't really get a lot of sleep that night.
Aww.
Anyway, we the following day, I think I wrestled 3 matches. I had a match with Masha, I had a match with Love Doug, and then a tag match with Crab against Waves and Curls. Um, I think we finish up there. It's dark at this point. I'm not sure what time it was, but the 3 of us start driving back home. And like as we're leaving, I get a text from my mom, down in New Jersey. It was like, hey, this blizzard that they said was going to come in, it started snowing here. Like, just be careful. It's like, sure thing, Ma. So we're driving down Maine, no problem. Massachusetts, no problem. Second we hit Connecticut, I cannot go above like 30 miles an hour.
Oh,
The snow was awful. So I was driving. Masha was in the front seat. I didn't realize until weeks after, she was pretty sure that she was still concussed from a previous match that she had before that weekend even started.
oh wow.
She's in the front seat. Crab is in the back, who's just, he's like dead because he had gotten no sleep the night before or whatever. So I'm driving there. I was like, thank goodness I feel good because
Yeah.
Masha can't drive. Crab's in no condition to drive. Um, we're driving down. We pull up on like an accident, and when I say we pull up on an accident, we're legitimately like the first people who pull up on it. There's like a car on the side of the road, a cop car, then there's us. Um, I see the cop car in front of me. I stay about, 30, 40 feet back. It was like, I'm gonna give plenty of space, like whatever, I'm gonna stay back here. But the guy in the car just waves us forward. Okay. So I pull up and then I'm stuck there. It's like cop car here, ambulances on the other thing. There's like another cop car behind me, another ambulance. So it's just us pinned literally in the middle of this whole conundrum, all these flashing lights around us. Meanwhile, concussed Masha is in the front seat, like freaking out from all the lights and everything.
Oh.
Um, we're stuck there for like 30, 40 minutes before we can start moving again. And for the rest of the drive, it's just like I see a rest stop. It's like, I'm feeling good. Let's let it ride. I got gas. Let's let it ride. I somehow managed to make it back to Jersey without killing the 3 of us.
Oof.
But just me driving back from Maine in a blizzard. What should have been, I want to say, like a 7-hour drive turned into closer to 10. But
Yeah. I'm from the Midwest and I live where it snows. I hate, hate driving in the snow. Hate it. Hate it. I would never be able to do that. I'd be like, oh, it's more than just a little bit of a flurry. Looks like we're staying somewhere. because I'm not going anywhere in this shit.
So
more power to you.
I'm not even sure why I was so dead set on getting us back there. It's like, no, we're not going to stay at a random hotel in like Connecticut. F that. We're going to like, meanwhile, the whole time I'm just being bitter. There's like people want to make fun of New Jersey. At least we know how to pave our roads when it snows. Like stupid Connecticut. I hate you.
You were just driving out of spite of Connecticut.
Oh, there was probably a good bit of spite involved in that drive. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to kill us out of spite.
So I'm not fucking dying in Connecticut. Tell you what.
Oh my God, I would be so mad if I died in Connecticut. Oh boy.
Well, I'm glad that you made it. I'm glad you didn't die in Connecticut. That would
me too.
Awful on so many levels. Just have a couple more questions, and we'll go to Christopher for the lightning round questions from chat, and then we'll wrap up. So this is a shout out to Twitter Spaces. I know I've seen you Twitter Spaces before, so you know how they can sometimes be, but that's where I took the question from. So what is the biggest animal you could take in a fight with just your hands, no weapons? I think I know the answer to this, but I do want to ask.
I feel like you know what the easy answer is, so I almost feel like I gotta go. I think a bear sitting on top of another bear's shoulders.
Double bears.
Yes, double bear.
Ooh. Any particular species of bear?
I think a grizzly bear sitting on top of a black bear's shoulders.
Very specific. I like that you went with two different bears.
Yeah. Get the best of both bears.
That's fair. Yeah, no, makes sense. Yeah, I believe you could take that for sure. No problem.
Yeah. That's how I'm gonna get my title belt.
Yeah, right? The bear belt. Yeah, let's go. How do you take your pancakes? So, like, what type of pancakes do you like? What accoutrements?
Man, I made pancakes the other day too. It's funny. I'm doused in syrup. I'm not huge on butter on my pancakes.
Me neither.
But I'll douse them. Yeah.
I'm really glad you didn't say waffles. I've had people try to waffle me on that, and I'm like, it's not the question I asked you now, is it?
Yeah, that yeah.
Like, why would you do that for me?
I could appreciate it. I can appreciate a good waffle, but like, it's so messy and so much work if you're making them yourself.
Waffles, like, unless you just buy like an Eggo waffle, yawn. But like, if you're gonna home make yourself a waffle, you have to have a special piece of equipment to do it. You can't make a waffle without a waffle iron.
Yeah, I used to work at a college, and they had like a waffle maker there, and it's like you fill up the thing, and it's always dripping down the sides. It's just a mess.
Right? Pancakes, you just need a pan and a heat source. Right? Waffle iron, get wrecked. Get hooked if you want.
Yeah. That's the way you do it.
Got this. So I'm gonna take you on like a little mental journey. So like I just want you to go with me. So like just participate. So pretend that you're hungry. You go to the store and you want something sweet, and you're kind of cruising the aisles, and you kind of wind down like the aisle where all the cookies are, and you're like, dope, I love cookies. And you're looking at the cookies and you're like, I want to go with America's favorite cookie, which is the Oreo. So you go to the section where the Oreos are, and there's like all kinds of like flippy like flavors and stuff now. But you're like, no. I just want like a chocolate cookie with some, white cream, like just regular kind of Oreo. But like there's still choices, right? Because you can get like the thin Oreos, or you can get just like your regular Oreo, or you can get like a double stuffed Oreo. So like which Oreo are you picking?
So I go with the double stuff. Not like the triple stuff because that's too much. But like give me a solid double stuffed.
So that is the unofficial correct answer to the question. So congratulations.
I did study for this.
No. Oh, gotcha. I was like, you left me for a second.
I
Got
got
you
a
back.
I got the low power notification.
Oh no, so we're almost done. So it's good. Speaking of that, moving on. Christopher, lightning round.
We have questions from chat real quick. If we could blow through those, it depends on if Travis has time.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, I will try to go quickly here. So Lucha Freddy was hanging out in the chat. He just wants to say, cannot wait to see you back in Toronto, Travis. Miss you.
Oh, I love that man. That's such a charming, handsome, sweet man.
I wanted to make sure you got that message. Boo Nanners hanging out in the chat. Wants to know what flavor syrup for your pancakes.
Ooh. The first one that comes to mind is like going to IHOP. They've got like those 4 different ones there. I just the old fashioned.
Boo's answer was all of them until your teeth hurt.
If I'm having like, if I'm really getting like a cheat day, maybe. The berry ones are good as blueberry syrup. I think the blueberry and the strawberry you could mix together and that'd be good.
Yeah.
I can't imagine mixing those two and like the other two. It's like blueberry, strawberry, old fashioned, and then a 4th one.
Is it like butter pecan or something to that effect?
Maybe. Yeah. Let's stick old fashioned.
Old school, like it.
Yeah, like I like a lot of my wrestling.
Head Cheese wanted to know, you kind of mentioned some of the music you might listen to on the road. Do you have any favorite songs?
Other than Snake Eater?
Other than Snake Eater.
Oh man, it all depends on what mood I'm in. Man, I'm blanking out right now.
Stuck on Snake Eater.
Yeah, just stuck on Snake Eater. I've got a few things. Frank Turner is a personal favorite of mine. Specifically, Love Iron Song is one of my favorite albums. So like anything off of there. If I've got like one of my workout playlists, what is it? Day to Remember, what is it? Homesick, that one. There's a few things on there that are really good. Mentioned Chiodos earlier. Wonder Years, Philly bands. Got to meet those guys a couple years ago. All really cool guys.
That's good. That's a good bit for somebody who's drawn a blank.
Yeah, anything with enough angst, I think. It all depends on what mood I'm in.
Right on. So our VIP Vic, he loves gear, and he wants to know how many different sets of gear do you usually bring to a show?
I think last show I was on, I brought probably 4 different sets of trunks. I had my classic gray trunks I use for most occasions. Got an old set of gear that I haven't worn in at least a year or so. That had a lot more gold on it. Then I also recently got a pair of like teal mint, like seafoam green trunks. I've got that pair, and then a pair of like icy blue. It's like a baby blue kind of color. I've got those two that I like just having, just on standby if I'm feeling froggy and tan enough.
Do you like see what your opponent's wearing and you're like, I have to wear like a different set of gear? Like, do you coordinate against them almost?
I definitely try to. At Grind, I wore the green. Um, for the first two shows at Grind, I wore the green because with the green and then my gold boots, it matched their color scheme. So that was a nice little thing. I will wear white boots on special occasions, at least matches that are special to me. I This is going off topic. I really loved it how there were certain people who had very subtle gear things, and I think Ric Flair was a fantastic example of this. The year he won the Royal Rumble, he had black gear that had his initials in red, and then I think all his Royal Rumble appearances afterwards, he wore like that look. The black gear, I think it was like black knee pads, black boots, red letters. I think a lot of the big losses he had in his career, he wore red trunks. I think when he was in, I want to say when he would go to North Carolina, he would wear like the Carolina blue. There were a lot of little things like that that Flair did that I just really appreciate. That I try to have my subtle little things like that.
Nice.
That's awesome. And now I'm going to go back and watch all those old Flair things to see those because as you say it, like I realized, yeah, he did. He did do that.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble I noticed recently. I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and just as we were killing, or not killing time, but just as we were hanging out, we watched like the first Royal Rumble. We watched the one where Flair won. Uh, I think like, what was the other one? Uh, we watched 2020. We watched one of those in like the mid 2000s. We watched like 5 or 6 different Rumbles. We saw that. But yeah,
Were you watch?
I think Flair wears red in one of the big matches with Steamboat. I think he wears it in the match with Randy Savage where they've got the pictures of Miss Elizabeth. Um, yeah, pay attention to that. There's some fun stuff if you're paying attention.
Awesome little Easter eggs that you may have noticed the first time. Yeah. Purple Midnight. What is your favorite movie?
It's gonna be a weird one. Stranger Than Fiction.
Is there any specific reason for that?
If you're not familiar with the movie, it stars Will Ferrell, and he's going about his day. He's like an accountant or something, and one day he starts hearing a voice. It's a woman narrating his life, and she makes some comment about like, little did he know that this something something was going to lead to his death. And Will Ferrell's character starts having like this big crisis. It's like, what do you mean I'm gonna die? Like, am I hearing things? Is this voice real? Uh, and it sort of leads him to changing these things about himself, these things about his life that he didn't like, you know. Uh, it was like someone facing the, their imminent mortality, finally starting to live their life, and a bunch of other stuff in there. They've got a little thing at the ending of it. I don't think it's spoilers, but it was like all these little nuances and small things that you think are only meant to accessorize your life are meant to serve a much greater purpose, and like all these things are the things worth living for. I'm paraphrasing, but it's just a message that I really sort of like.
Definitely a sneaky good movie with a lot of decent actors in it too.
Yeah, was it Emma Thompson? I think she's the author who's narrating. What's his name? Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman's in it. Yep. Queen Latifah.
Yeah. What's her name? Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of those good movies that if you want to sit down and just enjoy a good movie randomly, like that you wouldn't expect picking out of a lineup, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's not I don't think it's the first one that a lot of people think of, but I remember when I was younger seeing the trailer for it, and like it was really interesting to me. Then I finally watched it, and going in and watching it multiple times. Yeah, it's solid.
Really good pick. Really good. All right. Another question from Vic. Favorite Mountain Dew flavor? You mentioned a little bit of Mountain Dew kick. What's your favorite flavor?
Baja Blast. Unfortunately, you can't always find it. If I'm driving home after a show, I'll probably go for Code Red.
Cool. Side question from Vic. Are you smarter than the average bear?
Next question.
Next question. So last question from the chat. Head Cheese wants to know, what's your favorite parts of being a pro wrestler?
I like a lot of opportunities it's given me. I've mentioned quite a few of them earlier. I don't. It's really tough for me to imagine what my life would be like if not for professional wrestling. Um, I've gotten to meet so many fantastic people, gotten to do so many cool things, and it is constantly blowing my mind when I have people come up to me that I've never met before and just talk about how they watched a match of mine from years ago, and X, Y, and Z, and that blows my mind. I guess the people, for putting a nice concise answer to it.
Well, thanks for answering the questions from the chat. Everybody, thanks for asking those questions. I have one last question, Travis. Are you ready?
Yes.
For the lightning round?
Oh boy.
All right, so lightning round, 10 questions. Try not to think too hard. A lot of either or questions. A couple of quick questions. Don't worry yourself. The promo's playing right now. You'll be fine. And if you're not, I'm sorry.
We'll see what happens.
If you're not, we're almost done. So
we're almost done either way. So yeah, you'll be all right. All right, lightning round. Here we go. Question 1. Texting or talking?
Talking.
Favorite day of the week?
Monday.
Question 3. How many hours of sleep do you need?
More than I get. 8, 9.
Question 4, invisibility or super strength?
Super strength.
Next question, would you eat a day-old taco from 7-Eleven?
I don't eat meat. No.
There you go. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
Every language.
Question 7, dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
It's got to be a special kind of dark chocolate. It can't just be straight up, but dark chocolate.
Question 8, on a scale of 1 to 10. Oh, I'm sorry. As we get to question number 8 here, we're getting rated by BMD with 26 raters.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Welcome, raters. I'm going to pause the lightning round. So this is a pause in the lightning. Thanks for joining us. Val, why don't you do the old thank you for rating?
Thank you for rating. BMD is a great person. I like watching his Twitch. So thank you for sending your viewers our way. We appreciate having them. I'm talking tonight with the Golden Grappler, Mr. Travis Huckabee. We are almost completed, but thank you for showing up. I appreciate having you here. Make sure to follow us here on Twitch and stick around for a little bit while we wrap up. And that way Travis can tell you where to follow him as well.
Yeah, Tuscan Raiders.
All right.
A bunch of good buzz in the chat.
A lot of buds in the chat. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the lightning round. Thanks for all those follows. We'll thank you in a second, but we got to get back to the lightning round. We're on question 8 of 10. Travis, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you?
8.
All right. Question 9, fill in the blank. Taylor Swift is blank.
Adorable.
And question number 10, is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
No.
That was the lightning round. Travis, very well done. Very concise. Val, back to you.
Well, thank you once again, Raiders, for stopping in, giving a follow. BMD, hey man, good to see you. Oh, bloody hell, Reed. Reed has a quick question, if you have a quick second.
Yeah.
Did we ask Travis what his favorite match to referee? So what was the favorite match of yours that you refereed?
Ooh. I think I refereed a match I think it was up in Canada. It was Mustache Mountain, I want to say, versus. It was either Hype and Rockwell or 3.0. But yeah, it was something with Trent Seven and Tyler Bate, and I'm pretty sure it was up in Canada.
Nice. I also have a question from Bloody Hell. When is Travis going to be at Open Wrestling?
So I was on last week.
I was gonna say.
What's up?
I was just gonna say, it's like I think you were just on there, but
yeah, I was on there this past week. I'm definitely trying to get up there again. I'm gonna ride up with Mikowski for his match with Alex Shelley. So I'll be around for that. I don't know if I'll be doing too much after that. If not before then, I will be back up in New England at the end of February. There will be a grind show. I think it's on a Friday, followed by a Blitzkrieg show on a Saturday. I will probably come up for Open the Thursday before those. So I have a nice little 3-day trip at the end of February.
nice. That is an excellent segue into my next question, which is, what are your upcoming shows? So I feel like you're everywhere all the time.
I'm not sure if I have too much going on until that weekend I mentioned. But like I said, that will be at the end of February. I will likely be doing Wrestling Open that Thursday, Grind that Friday, and then there's that Blitzkrieg show where I will be challenging for the Bedlam City Championship that Saturday. Those are the ones that come to mind. I'm not sure if I have anything going on before then, but all of my stuff will always be up on my Twitter or my Instagram at Travis_Huckabee. You could find out all of my upcoming matches, schedule, bookings, whatever, up on there.
And that was an excellent segue into my next question, which is, where are you on social media that people can find you, other than you just mentioned your Twitter and your Instagram? Do you have like Twitch or Facebook or TikTok or YouTube or OnlyFans? Like, where can people find all of their Travis Huckabee needs?
So those are the two main ones, Twitter and Instagram. Those are the ones I'm most active on. I have a Travis Huckabee fan page on Facebook. I don't update that a lot. I guess if that's the only way you have of getting in contact with me, you could do that there, I guess. I've got an email that is, I think, is linked on my Instagram and Twitter if anyone's interested in contacting me that way. No OnlyFans just yet.
I mean, you could, but it's up to you. I'm never gonna force anybody to do it. But I always want to give the option to know that it's okay for you to plug that with me if you want to. I don't want people to feel like, oh no, I can't say that with no. I'm open to everyone plugging whatever they want to.
Yeah. Anyone sorry, speaking of plugging things,
yeah,
I'm currently doing a pre-order on a new shirt design. If I get enough of them, I will make them. I'm cutting off the pre-order in probably another week and a half. So if anyone's interested, it is a design I personally really want to do. You could reach out, contact me through either of those social medias I mentioned to be able to do that, so I can make these shirts that I want to make.
Yeah, let Travis make the shirts he wants to make.
Yeah, only gonna do it if I get enough signed up.
Sign up for the shirt, yo.
Yeah, this is me guilt tripping random people.
Well, I mean, maybe they're not random. I don't know.
That's fair.
There are people that might already be fans of yours. Like I said, you're like everywhere.
I'm sure the guilt trip will help.
If you weren't fans of Travis before, you should be now. You can go back and watch this interview wherever, on Twitch, or it'll be up on YouTube probably tomorrow. Spotify, so you can listen to me if you want to, and you don't have to look at my ugly face, which is fine.
What's wrong with that? It's a fantastic face.
I don't know about all that. So
I mean, I don't even get to see the other guy's face. I just see a logo. I'm talking to you, Christopher, if that is your real name, if you're even behind, if you're even there.
Christopher's getting called out by Travis Huckabee.
He just walked away, I bet. He walked away, he went to get a snack or something.
Maybe he went and got a Fresca.
Maybe. Careful, they go right through you.
Well, once again, thank you so much for joining me tonight, Travis. Do follow him on Instagram and Twitter and pre-order his shirt. I like it because it doesn't have, like, I don't like wearing faces on my shirts. And there's a lot of wrestling shirts that have faces on them. So I appreciate a good, like, logo. Personal preference. But if you are like me and you like t-shirts with not faces on them, because I believe this is a t-shirt with not face on it, right? It's just like a yellow guy, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
I thought I saw it on Twitter.
Say knock
Red
off
Hot Chili
Red Hot
Peppers
Chili
logo.
Pepper shirt.
Yeah, I'm about that. So go order the t-shirt so that we can all get one. And once again, thank you so much for hanging out with me, Travis, for being so flexible after whatever the debacle was last night.
Watching their bears.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight on the special Thursday edition of The Stack. Next week, I'll be off, but we have a stacked February to include B. Daniel, Love Doug, and Phil Cardigan. So I'm very excited for February.
I love Doug.
Right? Thank you. So once again, thank you so much, Travis. Thank you so much, chat. Everybody have a good night. Everybody have a good night.